We're in a time where every action matters. In a city like Phoenix, in a state like Arizona, it took on a rapid population growth, intense population growth. I've been hearing that year after year, and over time it went from, oh cool, we're adding more people, to do we have the resources it takes?
When the water flows are down, the fish don't spawn, the birds don't show up. The whole ecosystem is problematic because the temperature of the water rises and the agricultural community for the farmers.
So it's this really critical place, and it is entirely within Arizona, so the Salt and Verde watersheds contribute a significant portion of the water supply for the Phoenix metro area. And as the Colorado River is experiencing shortages, that means we're going to become more and more reliant on our in-state rivers. And so as more people move into the area, it changes the way the river flows, and we need to create a resilient system that's going to flow for the next 100, 200, forever.
Beer is a water-intensive process. We realized we are creating a footprint with what we do. We actually have a greater mission beyond just the liquid in the glass or what the food that's on the plate. We looked at them and said, how can we have a deeper level of care into how we're sourcing ingredients and reduce our footprint?
So the Nature Conservancy has been looking at what could we do to protect the Verde River. We know that base flows in the summer are when the river is most in danger. And so we wanted to think about how we could protect those flows. So we worked very closely with agriculture. I work on a variety of water projects throughout the Verde watershed. It include crop conversion, agricultural infrastructure, and community water management. Chip actually started as a volunteer for the Conservancy on a property we were working on. He then became the board president of Friends of the Verde River, and we had always had this ongoing conversation about conservation and innovative ideas and what could we do next that would make a difference.
I was working with the Nature Conservancy on a lot of irrigation efficiency projects in the Colorado River Basin, but I was interested in doing something with business. I was talking to Kim Schoeneck about it, and she said, you know, we've been doing a lot of due diligence on crop conversion and what would be a good crop.
You know, through conversations with farmers, we were able to identify why they were growing high water use crops as opposed to low water use crops. Replacing something like alfalfa with barley or wheat, as long as you have an endpoint for it, is really great for the farmer, keeps them in business, but reduces the amount of water that's taken out of the river.
I said, well, that's all really cool. I'm glad you're working on it. She says, well, no, we're missing something. There's no malting facility in Arizona. She said, what do you think about trying out starting up a malting company? I said, yeah, how hard could it be? Between the two of us, we came up with enough money to start up Sinagua Malt. The first year, I had imagined, okay, I'm just going to find a malting manager, a maltster, to do all this malting, somebody that knows how to do it. And I applied everywhere, Craft Malters Guild, all over. I only got one response. And so I found myself in the position of, well, to keep this thing going, I'm gonna have to be the maltster. And so at retirement age, I had to learn a new craft.
And we had no way to harvest it. We had no way to malt it. We miraculously got it harvested, and then we shipped it off to Texas to get malted, and it came back, and then we wanted to know what would it taste like in beer.
I knew nothing about grain. I knew very little about craft brewing except that I was a patron of craft breweries.
We needed to find really great partners that could make beer.
In Arizona, understanding Sonoran white wheat and us having this identification of our brewing style with Saison and rustic farmhouse beers, it was a no-brainer to us to say, let's try that weed out.
And so Arizona Wilderness brewed our first all Arizona grain beer, and that was so exciting to taste it. And you know, since that time, we've worked with them to help refine the product. So Chip's had regular calls with their brewers to say, what would we need to do differently in the malting process? Are there different types of grain that work better? And so they've been an excellent thought partner through this whole process.
You know, that water saving that's happening in the river is more than we could have ever imagined, and they've done a great job with growing their production and their ability to service.
Instead of getting our malt overseas from mass producers, we're getting it local It's a little bit more expensive for us, but we really think that that's important. I think it's like some 80 million gallons of water a year goes back into the Verde River, which is huge.
And you can see like this one pint is, makes such a bigger difference just like 100 miles away, to help the water come out of your faucet.
The vision really worked to kind of be that stepping stone and to find that path and identify the right partner. So, that's really the Conservancy's role, is to understand the conservation goals and create a path to get to that long-term sustainable position.
Our purpose was to improve declining river flows in the Verde watershed. We didn't come at it like we're a business and we're looking for another way to make a profit. It was kind of the other way around, and here's an opportunity to provide habitat and keep rivers flowing.